So, how are you? How have you been? Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. A while back, I read, I audiobooked The Alchemist by Paulo Coehlo. And I'd heard a lot about this book a lot of times and decided to finally get around to reading it, decided to check it out. And I don't remember most of the book. It's been a while. I don't remember most of it, but there's one line in one part of a fable that struck a chord with me, and I remember it. And from the entire book, this one line is what I remember. So let me read an excerpt of this book and just give you something to think about. A merchant sent his son to learn the secret of happiness from the wisest of men. The young man wandered through the desert for 40 days until he reached a beautiful castle at the top of a mountain. And there lived the sage that the young man was looking for. However, instead of finding a holy man, our hero entered a room and saw a great deal of activity. Merchants coming and going, people chatting in the corners, a small orchestra playing sweet melodies, and there was a table laden with the most delectable dishes of that part of the world. And the wise man talked to everybody, and the young man had to wait for 2 hours until it was time for his audience. With considerable patience, the sage listened attentively to the reason for the boy's visit, but told him that at that moment, he did not have the time to explain to him the secret of happiness. He suggested that the young man take a stroll around his palace and come back in 2 hours' time. However, I want to ask you a favor, he added, handing the boy a teaspoon in which he poured 2 drops of oil. While you walk, carry the spoon and don't let the oil spill. The young man began to climb up and down the palace staircases, always keeping his eyes fixed on the spoon. And at the end of 2 hours, he returned to the presence of the wise man. So, asked the sage, did you see the Persian tapestries hanging in my dining room? Did you see the garden that the master of gardeners took 10 years to create? Did you notice the beautiful parchments in my library? Embarrassed, the young man confessed that he had seen nothing. His only concern was not to spill the drops of oil that the wise man had entrusted to him. So go back and see the wonders of my world, said the wise man. You can't trust a man if you don't know his house. Now more at ease, the young man took the spoon and strolled again through the palace, this time paying attention to all the works of art that hung from the ceilings and the walls. He saw the gardens, the mountains all around the palace, the delicacy of the flowers, the taste with which each work of art was placed in its niche. Returning to the sage, he reported in detail all that he had seen. But where are the 2 drops of oil that I entrusted to you? Asked the sage. Looking down at the spoon, the young man realized that he had spilled the oil. Well, that is the only advice I have to give to you, said the sage of sages. The secret of happiness lies in looking at all the wonders of the world and never forgetting the 2 drops of oil in the spoon. So then let's look at a parable that Jesus teaches in Matthew chapter 25, beginning in verse 1. It says, Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. And they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. And while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. Enjoy everything that you have to enjoy. Enjoy everything that God has blessed you with. Enjoy your home. Enjoy your family. Just enjoy life. Enjoy eating and laughing, spending time together. But don't neglect to keep the oil in your lamp. The details, the smallest details, the most important, precious things. Don't neglect to be filled with the baptism of the Holy Ghost. Don't neglect God's Spirit moving in you. Let that be the oil that keeps your fire burning, keeps your lamp lit. Don't neglect to keep your oil full. See everything there is to see. Travel where you got to travel. Learn everything you've got to learn. Go wherever you got to go. See the world. See everything so beautiful. All of God's creation. See it all. Experience it all. Do it all. But no, don't drop your oil. Don't drop your oil. Don't go dry. Don't neglect to be full.